Today's Buckeye Roast, the tight end showed out, giving Ohio State another dimension on offense. JJ returned to form, looking more like the playmaker Buckeyes fans expected, and Julian came this close to rewriting the record books with his performance. On defense, the future looks bright at linebacker with young names stepping up and flashing big potential. And to wrap it up, we dive into the great running back debate, who deserves the carries, how the rotation should look, and what it means moving forward. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
I was doing good after Saturday. I'm not doing so well right now, but we're here to talk college football and not NFL, so I'm just fine.
Absolutely. I'm feeling good, man. The Buckeyes are 2-0. Ohio State gets it done with a 70-0 win over Grambling State. But I have a stat of the day for you. And when I mean stat of the day, I don't have a stat of the day, Q. I just have a number. That number is 1.
I know that number stands for, and no.
You have no idea what it stands for?
I know what the number is. No.
The number stands for 0-1 for the Baltimore Ravens. Talk about it, Q, because I can't relate because my Steelers are 1-0. And shout out to the Bengals fans watching. 1-0. How's it feel?
Oh, my God.
Browns,
feels like
Ravens fans, the floor is yours.
You ever see that picture where the guy is like, he takes the selfie and he's smiling, then you have the mirror in the back and he's holding the camera? That's how I'm going to feel doing this show, man. The Ravens, they invent new ways to lose. I don't know. We're cursed. Just avoid the Bills at all costs. Take them off the schedule.
Yeah, before we started recording, I text Q and he said, "Man, I don't want to talk football no more." And I thought he was breaking up with me as a co-host. I was like, "What's going on here, man?" I had to go check the numbers on his movie channel. I said, "Are they booming that much over there?" He's just quitting. Nope, his Ravens just stink, and he doesn't want to talk football anymore.
Oh my God, Ron! I said before the show, they might as well have me and you rushing the passer. We could not get to Josh Allen too. I could do that. Oh my God.
Well, I will spare you having to talk about them anymore, Q. We got plenty to talk about in college football, so let's get to it.
Let's do it. Play the song.
No holiday on Monday, so we get the AP poll on a Sunday. Q, the Buckeyes are still number 1 in the nation. A ton of turmoil around college football this week. We watched the Florida Gators go down, man. I hyped them up last week and talked about them being one of the most intriguing teams in the country, along with the Michigan Wolverines, who also take a tumble and lose to Oklahoma this weekend. Q, what are your thoughts on the AP poll?
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty solid. I mean, obviously couldn't move Ohio State from 1. I mean, you win 70-0 unless it's ESPN talking. That's an impressive performance. So they stayed there. Penn State, I'm very interested to see what Penn State and Oregon looks like. We're heading for that collision a little bit, and Penn State didn't look too impressive so far. So I'm interested to see if they pick it up a little bit. But yeah, like you said, Oklahoma, the big winner. They beat Michigan, of course. I predicted Michigan to win the game. I thought Bryson would look a little better. I thought Michigan's play calling.
Did anyone on this program tell you that Michigan was going to lose that game?
Ron, they had me calling plays. Like, their play calling was absolutely terrible. I'm like, what are we doing? So I expect a little bit better from that. Maybe they'll pick it up later, but it is what it is. And then also we talked about it. That was one of our trap games. USF is obviously for real, and Florida is obviously not. I mean, they're not even in top 25.
They're unranked. I had that on our upset alert, and they end up going down to USF, and USF jumps into the poll at number 18 and makes an appearance, and Florida falls all the way out of the AP poll. Q, are you surprised that they fell completely out of the poll?
You know what? I would be surprised if I didn't see the worst 2-minute drill to run out the clock in college football history. Billy Napier has I don't know what he said at post game, but Florida gets the ball back after the missed field goal with 2 minutes and I think 50 seconds, maybe 40 something seconds left. USF gets the ball back with 2 minutes left to go on a 2-minute drill. Like they held the ball for 40 seconds. Throwing on first down, not trying to run the clock at all, not trying to make them take any timeouts. It was awful. And of course, it set up to USF just dominated, got down the field. That screen pass that they threw was one of the craziest plays I've seen in college football this weekend, where they throw it behind the line, running back just breaks 2 tackles, or wide receiver 1 or 2 just breaks 2 tackles and goes for like 30 yards down the field, singing a field goal range. So that was a crazy game, man. But yeah, USF has earned it. So they're in their spot in top 25.
Absolutely, and it's setting up a monster matchup that we'll talk about later in the week between USF and Miami. You know, Miami doesn't play outside of the state of Florida until November, so USF is one of those games. That's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. They take down Florida this week. Can they slay another giant? Or, I mean, I don't know if you can consider Florida a giant now that they're unranked. One other comment that I wanted to make about the AP. I mean, I've talked about it all season about this crazy idea of potentially 3 ACC teams, and you look at in the college football playoff, and you look at the rankings right now. You got Miami, you got Florida State, and you got Clemson, all in the top 12. Do you think the hopes for 3 ACC teams going to stay alive?
I'm still probably with the 2. I mean, that Clemson loss will probably cost them later down the road because they're going to try to get as many SEC teams into the playoffs as possible. So they really are going to have to turn it up. They're probably to get Clemson in. They're probably going to have to win the ACC. I'm going to be honest, because if they're third, I don't think they're going to jump the SEC team that's near in front of them. So the hope is still there, but you're going to have Miami and Florida State just on a collision course, and you're going to have to Clemson be able to win out in the ACC, I think, to get all 3. I think they're just going to have to lose to each other, and Clemson's going to have to win it to get in.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun race to keep an eye on. The ACC looking much better than it has in years past. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but when I look at these rankings and I'm like, if Miami's the best, if Miami's a top 5 team in the country, it's a 4-team race for the national championship.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see what Miami does. Like I said, I mean, they played Bethune-Cookman this weekend, so not much to take away from that, just like most other games.
I mean, honestly, there is some to take away from it. Miami has clearly come back better because remember about 2 seasons ago when they tried to convince us number 8, I don't even remember what his name was, but they just kept calling him number 8. They're like, that's an NFL guy. They didn't want to believe that their defense was that bad that they were getting cooked by Bethune-Cookman, so they told themselves that they had an NFL wide receiver, and that's why it looked like that.
Well, no Middle Tennessee State fallout here for Miami so far. So I'm looking forward to them and see what they do at ACC play. Hopefully they can stay consistent. But if they don't, I will be in spaces.
Absolutely. Q, we had some predictions last week. We did a bold take show, and we've been doing this show for 3 seasons now. I think we're almost at 170 episodes of the Buckeye Roast. We're probably going to hit our 200th episode this season together, but I don't think we've ever recapped our bold takes and kind of just move on the following week. But I've made an effort to kind of track these bold takes, and we wanted to revisit the bold takes that we had last week. Ohio State gets it done 70-0 over Grambling. Q, would you like to recap your bold takes?
Yeah, it's a little rough. Jair Alexander's a lockdown corner. Oh, I'm sorry, that's NFL. 2 defensive touchdowns was my first one. I was close. I was this close. Aaron Scott, you cost me. You owe me one. That should have been a pick 6.
That's your brother.
He didn't even catch the ball, but I'm like, man, I saw. I was like, oh, that's a pick right there. He's throwing it. It's late. Aaron Scott's about to break on the ball, and he just didn't. But we were close. We had 1 defensive touchdown. Shout out to Riley Pettijohn. We did that. You want me to go all the way down the line?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I don't think you hit on any of these, did you?
No, I didn't. Bryson Rodgers touchdown He obviously did not, but he did look good at punt return for a little bit. He had. I think we need to find ways to get him involved in the game a little more. It's good to see some rotation. Obviously, shout out to Brian Hartline for getting some guys in there, but I think we need to see more Bryson Rodgers, especially, like I said, we got all these athletes in punt and kick return, and we keep trying to, Brandon Ennis, Carnell, Tate, go back. Like, they start, bro. They got enough minutes. let some other guys have a chance. Malik Hartford, big hit. Not quite so. He did play, but didn't stand out too much there. So we'll see what he does. And then I doubled down with you, CJ Hicks, with 2 sacks, and he had 0. So sorry, CJ, that was on me.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who watches our show on Friday. We immaculately timestamp our show so you can just skip through Q's bold predictions because they're always wrong and just listen to mine. And when you're doing that, make sure you smash that like button because I went 3 for 5 on my bold predictions. Maybe they weren't bold enough given the opponent, but I had all 3 quarterbacks play. We saw all 3 quarterbacks play. I had Bo Jackson touchdown. We almost got 2 of them. I had 3 SFE touchdowns. We got that in the first half.
Quarter off the heart line. Let it fly.
And then I also had CJ Hicks 2 sacks. He had 0. I had Bo Atkinson getting a sack. He registered 0 tackles.
Yeah, the one thing we'll jump into, but that's my one concern so far. So in the comments, while you like that video, let me know, are you concerned about the pass rush? We can jump into it a little bit later, but that's my little concern about Ohio State so far.
I've mentioned it at least 50 times. The score was 70-0, Q. Were you expecting that? I jokingly said on the timeline and then took a victory lap after. Someone said, what is the lock of the day for someone to cover their spread? And I commented, Ohio State 55.5. Lock it in, buddy. Yeah. And if anyone saw that and took me seriously, they won.
Well, this is the obviously point. Ryan Day was not calling plays because if he was, I don't know if he would have hit -55. But Hartline came out there and said, hey, I'm airing it out. We getting 50 in the first half. So, yeah, I saw that 55 and I was like, I don't know if I would touch that, but they cleared it easily. So, yeah, good shot by you.
Yeah, the Buckeyes absolutely running it up, and man, were they distributing the ball. It's rare that we start our show when we're talking about the Buckeyes, talking about this position room, probably the least talked about position room on this program in the history of the program, and that's the tight end room. And we talked about the tight ends last year, and it would be so brief because it felt like there was some sort of rule where only one tight end was allowed to contribute per game. It was like, all right, well, here's the Will Kazmaier game. Oh, here's the Jelani Thurman game. Here's the G. Scott game. And it felt like all of them took turns on making an appearance. And it felt like Julian Sayin was doing his best Tom Brady impression by getting every single player on the team a touch. Nate Roberts with a almost catch that would have got all the tight ends that played a catch in the game. But you see Jelani Thurman get a touchdown. You see Will Kazmaier have a touchdown. Max Clare with a catch. Bennett Christian with a catch. Q, the first guy I wanted to talk about in this room is Will Kazmaier, a guy that we didn't give a lot of credit around last year. We were kind of disappointed in the pickup. They get a more inline tight end out of Ohio in the transfer portal. And then we had high hopes for Jelani Thurman. So thinking that an inline tight end was going to come into Ohio State and probably step over Jelani in the depth chart wasn't the most exciting thing. But, man, has he made a jump, because it felt like his only contribution last year. I mean, yes, he made contributions in the pass game, but his biggest contribution was in the run game and his blocking ability. And he has shown that not only has he leveled up his blocking, which was already a plus attribute for him, but he's also become a threat in the passing game. And to see him get involved that early in the game, how much did that stand out for you?
I mean, it's good to see. I mean, I think we were all disappointed too, because not only that, but Joe Royer walked out the room and went to Cincinnati, and we know how good he is. Preseason top 3 tight end on the draft board, supposedly. So we'll see if that holds. But yeah, that was a little bit part of it. But I mean, Will Kazmaier, I mean, his blocking last week was great. in the run game, especially against Texas, and much needed because he's probably our best blocking tight end. I think him and Jelani Thurman and Bennett Christian all do a really good job. But yeah, it was good to see him get the first touchdown in the pass game for the tight end room. I don't know how elite he's going to be in the receiving game, and we still haven't seen the Max Clare welcome to Columbus moment yet. So we're still waiting on that, but we know what Max Clare is. So
I mean, we've seen a welcome to Columbus moment.
My bad, y'all. So I always love that when somebody drops a pass, you just swing the arms.
It's me. No, I saw it. It was you.
But yeah, we're still waiting on that, but that is to come. But I mean, it's good for him. I'm glad to see him get a touchdown, get involved, because if you're blocking, you're going out there blocking your ass off, you deserve to be rewarded. And Julian Sayin says, hey, Colin Simmons wasn't on my ass too much last week, so here you go. There's one for you. Enjoy that.
Jelani Thurman, another guy whose blocking has leveled up. 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown, rewarded again with a touchdown there. And again, you see the progress that Jelani's made. You see the progress that Will Kazmarik's made, and it's just a testament to what Coach Key has done with that room. We went from having maybe one serviceable tight end to having a room full of tight ends that you feel comfortable putting on the field, so much so that we have a star standout tight end that they want to get on the field so bad that he's the starting fullback.
Yeah, fair enough. No, shout out to Coach Key. I mean, we talked about his recruiting. He's done an elite job recruiting this tight end room since he's taken over. So, I mean, he's done a great job there. That's, I think we talked about in preseason. The talent is in the room. It's just, can he develop? And we talk about Jelani Thurman is the key piece. If you can't turn that guy into a pro, I have serious questions, because he has all the talent in the world. So it's all about development. So it's good to see Jelani Thurman leveling up his game. I believe that's something he can do week in, week out if you want to involve him in the pass game. But with him and Max Clare, and now Will Kazmarek and Bennett Christian, shout out to him, who also was elite at blocking, has done a really good job and got a catch on Saturday. I mean, I'm excited for this tight end room. If you're going to play 2 tight ends and you're going to take SFE receivers off the field along with all these depth guys, like, they better be good, because we've seen them play and we're like, they're not that good. Why are we taking first rounders off the field? So if they're going to perform like that, then it's valid.
Absolutely. I saw an interesting tweet on the timeline, and you see Max Clare's stat line in a game where it seemed like everybody was involved. Max Clare, 1 catch for 7 yards. And someone said, are you nervous that the Buckeyes aren't going to be able to use Max Clare to his full potential? And I thought the word nervous was an interesting choice of words, because no, I'm not nervous, because clearly you see the production by the rest of the tight ends that they don't need Max Clare to be the best receiver on the team like he was at Purdue. And I would be surprised if they had him do that. The concern that I have and the nervousness is that he's not – I don't want to see Max Clare fall into the shuffle of this room. He was supposed to be the standout guy there. And you've watched him have a little bit of struggles in the blocking game in these past 2 weeks, and then you saw him with the drops. Do you have any concerns that maybe the talent level in this room wasn't quite is higher than they thought when they went out and got Max Clare?
I mean, not really. Like, my concern level is pretty low for Max Clare. Now, we know we did not bring Max Clare here to be Cade Stover and be an elite blocking tight end on the edge and obviously clear the way for running. Like, that's not why he's here. He's really a wide receiver in a tight end's body, because what he does in the pass game is way more elite than what he does in the run game. And we have clearly a bunch of tight ends that can block. So again, it wasn't the best performance against Texas. I don't think a lot of people perform elitely because you're playing the best team in the country, quote unquote. Now that we know we are, it's a little different. But I would say, like, once we get into those games where the talent is a little more equated, like, I don't care about Max Clare's stats against Grambling State. I don't care about Max Clare.
I honestly, personally, don't care about Max Clare's stats any game. And I don't care about anyone's stats, honestly. Like, if you told me that JJ stats were low and we went 17-0 and won the national championship,
you take it.
Like, I don't care about any one individual player's stats. All I care about is, are they contributing in the role that they're asked to do? And I feel like Max Clare, for the most part, is doing that. And as long as he continues to do that, if he figures out this drop issue, and we've watched the blocking level up from all the other tight ends in the room at Ohio State, I expect the same from Max Clare. So would I say I'm nervous about us not using him to his full potential? No, I just hope that he's giving his full potential in the opportunities and the situations that we're putting him in.
Yeah, and I mean, he can't drop the ball if he ain't open. So he's clearly getting open. So if the thing I got to worry about is Max Clare catching the ball, I think we'll be okay.
Absolutely. I did want to put a little quick NFL note in. I didn't put it in the notes, but we saw wide receiver you absolutely ball out. Justin Fields had a day himself. We saw Garrett Wilson get a touchdown, Marvin Harrison Jr. with a touchdown. I believe Chris Olave had 54 yards, Jack Smith-Njigba over 100 yards. Great day to be a Buckeye, not only as a fan coming off a 2-0, 70-0 win. You get to watch all the Buckeyes ball out in the NFL as well.
Yeah, somebody in the comments is going to do it, so I'll beat him to it. Yes, Emeka also had 2 touchdowns. I know you forgot Emeka. So
I forgot Emeka in his day. 2 touchdowns goes absolutely crazy. And then I believe one of the Bosa's, it was Nick Bosa, had a game-winning strip sack. So
there you go.
A big day for the Buckeyes.
No, I mean, it looks good. Great recruiting tool. Like I said, you come to Ohio State, you're going to compete with the best. If you can make it out of there, you're going to go produce in the NFL. So that's the risk reward you take, but that's why guys come here.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching the Buckeyes all over again when we were playing the Jets. I mean, Josh Myers at center, Garrett Wilson at wide receiver, Justin Fields at quarterback, Jeremy Ruckert at tight end. The Buckeyes were out there in full force for the Jets today. So it was fun to get to watch a lot of Buckeyes play. It was also fun to see my AFC North team win. Q, can you say the same?
It's a long season. Only got 16 more games to go.
It is a long season, and it's going to be a long season for cornerbacks all across college football trying to cover Jeremiah Smith. He returns to form. He got new gloves halfway through last game. He had a new helmet for this game. I think the drops are well behind him. We've went through all the superstitions of the drops, and Jeremiah Smith gets back on track with 5 catches, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Was it even fair allowing Jeremiah Smith to play against Grambling?
Well, no. It was dying, and the Grambling State coach knew that walking in. He was like, yeah, this is going to get ugly. But, I mean, it's good to see. Obviously, we know Jeremiah Smith, preseason All-American. Ohio State should do everything in their power to keep him up on the Heisman race because he deserves that, and he deserves a Blitnikoff. So definitely got to get him the ball. But he balled out, and along with him and Carnell Tate, another SFE guy, we talked about it last week. We said he needs more touches, and they were like, I listen to the podcast. I got y'all. So they made sure to get him more touches. So I think the guys balled out, and you predicted it. 3 SFE touchdowns. You got what you said. I need my Brandon Ennis showing. I need Brandon Ennis to break out and produce a little more. But like I said, when you got NFL guys running around along back with Max Clare and Brandon Ennis as your 3rd and 4th option, it's like we're living pretty good over here at Ohio State. So shout out Jeremiah Smith for a big-time game.
Absolutely. You brought up Carnell Tate, a guy that I feel like gets overshadowed. And I mean, I'm almost ready to go out on a limb and say he's wide receiver 1 in this upcoming draft. Definitely going to be a 1st-round pick. And it seems like he always has at least one massive play in his pocket. And he gets the 3rd SFE touchdown of the day for me. 5 catches, 69 yards. Nice. And just an overall great day from Carnell Tate. Just continues to develop. You watch him get bigger as a receiver over the offseason. You watch how physical he is in the run game. And then just at the point of attack, his ability to just go up and high point the ball. And I think we're going to see later on in the year more opportunities of what he can do after the catch as well. Just an all-around great day from Zone 6, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Carnell Tate probably should have had another touchdown if Julian's interception was more on time. He probably would add another one to the list. And I would say for Ohio State, I mean, we talked about Max Clare, we talked about Brandon Ennis. I think they need to, if they make a priority to get Carnell Tate the ball along with Jeremiah Smith, things are really going to open up for those guys. I mean, we've talked about it. It's usually your wide receiver 1 and then your slot if your slot is not your wide receiver 1. So with Carnell Tate on the other side, it just spreads the field so much. It's like, damn, I can't put the safety over here because I got Carnell Tate over here. And then Max Clare and Brandon Ennis can truly eat. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm glad they're making it more a priority. Let's keep that consistent and make sure Carnell Tate gets at least 5 touches a game, 4 or 5, or at least targets. Try to give him the ball doing something, and they threw him a screen. I was like, thank you.
You've been saying this for 2 weeks now, and I'm right there with you that it feels like Carnell Tate needs more targets every week. Like the way that he contributes in the run game as far as going out there and being a willing blocker the entire game, I feel like he deserves to see more targets, especially because he's open all the time. I feel like it's almost it's we're spoiled with how many wide receivers that we have and pass catchers that some of these guys get forgotten. And I mean, Carnell Tate's still a huge day, and he always finds a way to come up in the big moments. So a guy that's hard to forget about because he always finds a way to flash at some point in the game, but it would be nice to see him get a few more touches. I wanted to talk about some of the other wide receivers that we did get to see play this week. Mylon Graham got in the game, 1 catch for 23 yards, showing off how twitchy he is. He makes a guy miss, explodes for a 20-yard pass, showing why people are clamoring to see him get more minutes on the field. Bryson Rodgers, 2 catches for 22 yards, showing his burst on punt return, a guy that I expect to see more time on special teams, given the little bit that he did flash in the return game this past week. I'm not sure Brandon Ennis is going to be able to hold on to that job, but as the punt returner, but it'll be interesting to see if some of these more dynamic wide receivers get an opportunity back there. Q, I wanted to talk about Julian Sayin because, man, it's taking everything in me not to lie on a timeline about the Buckeyes because I am so high on Julian Sayin right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Ryan Day's gift from heaven. Give him another quarterback who's accurate, like CJ and Dwayne Haskins in his offense with the wide receiver room you have now. It's like, man, if you just find a way to get these guys the ball on time, on target, it's going to be scary for defenses. And obviously, Julian Sayin showed that last week. What did we say? You probably should have gave him more. It's like, I understand you want to be balanced and run the ball. And obviously, we've seen the shift this week. And by all means, it is Grambling State, but you see the shift. They're like, yeah, we ain't really going to be balanced today, boys. Air it out. And Julian Sayin is the perfect quarterback for that. I mean, you saw it. He came out and didn't miss a pass for what? He went 15 for 15, or was it 16 for 16?
He was 15 for 15 to start the game.
Okay, so he's 15.
Well, he was 18 for 18 before he threw the pick.
Yeah. The ball never hit the ground, so we'll go 18 for 18 on time, on target. Just one with a guy wearing another jersey. So,
yeah, you talk about the balance and pass happy. I mean, we only had 28, we ran the ball 38 times and compared to 28 pass attempts. So, I mean, while it felt like we were airing it out a ton, it was a pretty balanced game.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Hartline hit that for me because it felt like I was like, I think I texted you. I was like, Ron, we know who's calling the plays, and we running today.
We had an Urban Meyer special too, Q. That should be a betting prop. You should be able to bet the Urban Meyer special. 250. He had 377 yards passing, 274 rushing. Urban Meyer's specialty there. Q. Julian Sayin had an opportunity at the record books, and my favorite record in Ohio State history was at risk. And I started tweeting out, should Ryan Day pull Julian Sayin when he was at 15 for 15 with 3 touchdowns to allow him to cement himself in the record books? What record is that, you ask? It's the single game passing completion record held by one Buckeye legend, Tate Martell, in 2018, where he went 10 for 10 and won Big Ten Player of the Week. Q. Should Ryan Day have taken Julian Sayin out the game so he could have taken Tate out of the record books?
No. Tate Martell deserves that spot. He will hold on to it forever. No, man. I mean, I think Ryan Day. I mean, and also too, the one pass in that went to the other team in that completion record. I mean, it was a good coaching moment. Throwing it from the other hash, long past the Carnell Tate, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to get there, and you're kind of late. So we'll take it. Tate Martell can hold on to his record, but I mean, Julian Sayin, like we said, if last week against Texas is the worst Julian Sayin we were going to see, I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, man, shit, let me go. Who's playing the NFL right now? We might either recall you back because we're going to need some DBs and pass rushers to get to them, because if you give them time with those wide receivers, man, it's just a scary offense.
It is a scary offense. A lot of people are going to say, oh, it's Grambling State. Our guy Cam called us, and, Cam played high-level Division II football. I mean, his team competed for at the national level in the national playoffs, and he goes, bro, our quarterbacks would not complete 18 for 18 in 7-on-7 against air. He's like, Julian Sayin's out there doing it against an opponent with a pass rush. Like, that is unreal accuracy for him to be out there just balling like that and just dotting things. And it's just exciting to think about the potential and what the ceiling is for this kid. And Q, I want to ask you, I know it's Grambling State. He is now 2-0. He's beat the former number 1 team in the country. He goes out there with a near perfect performance. A ball does not hit the ground. Are we potentially looking at Ryan Day's first Heisman?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, definitely in the next 2 years, it's certainly possible. I don't know if that'll be his first Heisman, but I mean, I can't say it won't. I mean, you think about Julian Sayin with a year in the Ryan Day's offense. When he walks in next year, it doesn't matter who's playing receiver.
No, I'm talking this year. I'm talking this year. Are you watching college football? Who looks better than
Not a
Julian?
lot out there. Obviously, our guys we talked about at the beginning of the year kind of fell by the wayside. So
the only person that could make a good argument is Ron 3, number 1 overall player in the class of 2023. Dante Moore.
Who played the School of the Blind. I mean, Oklahoma State on Saturday, which was not
Mike
close.
Gundy's 40. He's a man.
Yeah, well, he needs to play because they needed some serious help. They needed more men out there trying to deal with Oregon's offense. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Certainly, you look at the scope right now. We've seen it. And I think when does the Heisman odds usually come out on Tuesdays? So we'll see it later in the week.
We'll have them later this week. We normally do
I would
Wednesday
expect
show.
Jeremiah Smith wasn't on that list. I would expect him back, and I would expect Julian Sayin somewhere in that 8, 9, 10 range. I mean, at the level
Caleb Downs was at 8. He adds an insane interception. Does he
Yeah.
move up in the odds?
I thought that was my other touchdown. When he caught it, I was like, oh, there is one. And then he fell. I was like, oh, come on, man. Help me out. So I thought that was my other one, but I won't blame him like I held Aaron Scott to the fire for that. But yeah, I mean, I would expect Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, Caleb Downs won't win, are going to be pretty much rocks on that list. They're not going to go anywhere. Julian Sayin as a quarterback, it is a quarterback award, unfortunately, but if he's going to perform like this, I mean, we play good defenses. We know Illinois, talk about them, and they played Duke this weekend, looked amazing. We know Penn State with Jim Knowles is going to have a good defense. They don't look quite the Jim Knowles defense yet, but we will see how they do when they come to Columbus. So, I mean, you perform well against those defenses, and I mean, Michigan's defense looked like you could have a full dinner out there with them right now. So, I mean, I don't see why he can't win a Heisman.
Yeah, I mean, we did not see a quarterback win the Heisman last year, but the previous 3 winners before that were all quarterbacks. And you had a break for Devontae Smith and then another 4 quarterbacks. So we're due for a run of quarterback Heismans. Julian Sayin looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I would imagine Garrett Nussmeier will have something to say about that. Q, anyone else that you have in mind that could potentially challenge him? I mean, DJ Lagway was a guy that everyone said was the best quarterback in the country, and then you look up and he's losing to South Florida.
He did not play well. Did not play well at all, man.
I mean, I heard Florida fans calling for Tramel Jones already in the spaces, and I'm like, man, things can't be that bad in Gainesville that they're man, I saw Urban Meyer edits on the timeline. I saw Lane Kiffin edits on the timeline. And just to see just the situation, I mean, you see where the situation that Florida's in right now, Alabama, you see these big power schools struggling, and it's like the Buckeye fans have really never had to suffer through that.
No, I mean that's the one part about we talk about this probably every other show, just the consistency and like we know games that we should not lose, we really don't. And Ryan Day seems to have broken
except
the big
for
game.
fucking 4 of them in the last 4 years.
So yeah. You can throw those in there, but non-rivalry games. I mean, Ryan Day has really broken the curse. It's like we talked about it. Ryan Day doesn't win big games. Okay, he just won 6 in a row. Urban Meyer loses to teams he shouldn't to. Well, Ryan Day came in and he said, well, we're putting a stop to that. You're going to show up week in and week out and put in a performance. So, I mean, yeah, there's not much to complain about being an Ohio State fan right now. Like I said, our biggest complaints are off the field. It's like everything is going well on the field. Like, I don't know.
Fix the scoreboard.
Yeah, spend some money. That's all I can complain about. Get us a new scoreboard. Good Jesus Christ. That thing ain't even working this weekend. So, other than that, everything's good on the field.
Absolutely. They need to call the Fix My iPhone guy to get the Jumbotron and the shoe working.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like, man, DG is on a tear on Twitter because, there's going to be something week in, week out complain about in Ohio State that's off the field.
The Jumbotron may not be bright, but the future is bright for the Buckeyes linebacker room when you look at what we saw on Saturday. A star in Riley Pettijohn burst onto the scene. Didn't get any snaps against Texas, but a guy that we knew was going to play early in the season. Q, did you anticipate true freshman linebacker Riley Pettijohn being the first player to score from his class?
No, I did not.
Kind of odds are you getting on that one?
Yeah, what were the odds Riley Pettijohn first defensive touchdown of the season? I definitely didn't have that at the top of my list, but hey, I will take it. So, no, it was good to see him get in early because he's playing second quarter? In late second quarter. So him playing that, I mean, that's how rotation should be. You're going to go in, you're going to steamroll Grambling State. I mean, Julian said in the first quarter, this ain't going to be close, and I'm going to make sure of that. And guys need to come in and play. So it's good to see him in there. I thought he looked good. I thought Tavares Alfred looked good too for the minutes he played. He was all over the field and flashing. And we said we got 3 guys coming in, 2 of them more so athletic freaks coming into this linebacker room that we should be able to use. So it's good to see them in there. And like I said, all over the field, they were getting guys in there. Aaron Scott, Bryce West came in. I thought they played pretty well. So a lot of the young guys getting time, and that's what we need this next 2 weeks. We got to develop our depth.
There's a handful of Buckeyes that I don't like to compare players to. And we were doing the post game, and Chris caught himself because he almost broke the rule and compared Riley Pettijohn to Ryan Shazier. Oh. And and look, it's one game, and I don't want to get out over my skis, but like when our guy Mike has been talking about this kid for years, telling him like, I've seen him in person. I'm telling you, he is different. You hear all the hype about him in the spring. You hear all the hype about him in the fall. You get out there and you see him. And it's just like there's a certain type of player that moves at an elite speed on the field, but they also move through people at an elite speed. And they bring that speed to every collision that they have on the football field. And Riley Pettijohn is one of those type of players. And to see someone play with that type of explosion when, we were just, grabbing our box of tissues thinking about the fact that it's only going to be 1 year with Arvell Reese and he's going to be off to the NFL. But then you see Riley Pettijohn and Tavares Alfred come out there and you're like, we're going to be fine. And you talk about these two, and I feel like the forgotten man becomes Peyton Pierce, and he's shown how valuable he is to this team by them being able to put Arvell Reese wherever the hell they want because they feel comfortable with putting Peyton Pierce out there. The depth in this linebacker room, given where it was 4 years ago that we were converting Steel Chambers from running back to linebacker, and, we're deferring. I mean, we're receiving the ball because we want less possessions without Steel Chambers on the field. And now we have Riley Pettijohn and Tavares Alfred and Peyton Pierce backing up Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. Like, used to pray for times like this, Q.
Yeah, some linebackers that can return punts. That's all I've been asking for. At the start of the show, I just wanted some athletic guys, man. It's not too much to ask. But
you have to give flowers to Tommy Eichenberg putting out film and showing people what elite linebacker play looks like at Ohio State and reminding people why this is linebacker you.
Yes, why?
Tommy Heisenberg.
elite athletes like Tommy Eichenberg really set the path. So now guys are following in those footsteps. It's good to see, man. Back on topic. No, I mean, it's great to see. I mean, Peyton Pierce obviously played against Texas, and I thought he played pretty well. He has some stuff to work on, but he's a solid piece you can count on. You surround him with other guys who are athletic, and can do different things, and it's good because, like I said, we're not going to get much out of Arvell Reese. That's the fear. It's like, hey, when he gets on the field, if he only got one, if he can go pro, he's going to go pro. So he might be about it here sooner than later. But yeah, I mean, it looks like James Laurinaitis has really flipped this room. I mean, we talk about it. Matt Patricia is a linebacker guy, and the way the linebackers look in these first couple of weeks, like they look really good. So you look at your secondary coaches, like, oh, we got Tim Walton back there, they're gonna look good. You look at these linebackers, and you're like, hey, we got an NFL coordinator, and we got James Laurinaitis, who's bringing in the best talent around the country. I mean, it's not much to fear right now as long as they can keep it trending.
Yeah, Riley Pettijohn must have been reading the notes for the stat of the day. He must have known that your Ravens were going to go 0-1. He put up the 1-1 stat line, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass breakup, 1 touchdown. It's a big day for the number 1 here on the podcast.
I'm not gonna lie, we might need to sign him tomorrow and tell him go rush the passer because we ain't got nobody else doing it. But what do I know?
Yeah, a huge day from Riley Pettijohn, and I had a tweet, a message from Riley Pettijohn, and it just said "Hello World," and it just feels like the Buckeye fans have to just be smiling ear to ear, knowing that we've known about all of these guys, and now the rest of the world that has just been hearing us rave about the young talent on our team, the guys that have been on the team for years, like your Jermaine Matthews, your Arvell Reese's, guys that we've known are ready to ascend into a role. And it's like the Buckeyes the Buckeyes just reload every year. It just seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, how far are we from the days of like CJ Hicks didn't get one defensive snap all season as a freshman that we're blowing people out left and right? And like I think we finally broke Ryan Day when I sent Jay Book that question. We had Ryan Day in the space, and I'm like, yo, please ask this. And Jay Book's like, yeah, why aren't young guys playing? And Ryan Day's like, shit. They know. Ever since then, he's flipped it.
Well, gotten guys. I mean, the disparity between how much young guys were playing at Alabama and Georgia versus Ohio State, and then you see Devin Sanchez playing in the final minutes of the game against the number 1 team in the former number 1 team in the country with 100 recruits in attendance. Like, again, used to pray for times like this. Our shows used to be much more hostile, and they've changed so much around the program that it's like I don't know out of things to complain about when there's a national. When the only thing that I can complain about is the broken jumbotron and the glow of the national championship trophy. Like, fine.
What other thing? Can we get the? I know they have the victory bell, but can we like move that from the back of the stadium, that corner where no one's at? Like, I would love the victory bell to be where the fans can actually see somebody ring the bell. I don't know if that's
well, we had a jumbotron. We could just show it on video.
I'm like, which corner do they have Coach Cooper in? Like him?
You got to bring your binoculars to see him up there, like the hunchback.
Like they should just run a contest. I'll give you $1,000. You can find the victory bell.
I thought you were going with the boozy line. But it's a family-friendly show, Q.
Not quite going that far, but yeah, man, there's not much to complain about. I'm glad young guys are playing. You brought up that stat. I think it was like Georgia, Alabama were at 2,000 snaps for freshmen. Ohio State was at like 300. It was something ridiculous. So they've really turned it around there, and it's good.
Yeah, don't quote us on that one. That was absolutely made up, but you get the.
No, it was. I know it was 2,000 snaps for Georgia and Alabama. Ohio State was under 500. I can guarantee it.
Okay, we'll revisit that. Q has homework after this show.
I know.
But Q, it feels like the season has officially started because there is now a raging debate on the timeline about the depth chart. And it's not officially a Buckeye season if they aren't telling the coaches they're getting it wrong with the depth chart. And you see it in week 2. you see more than two backs get carries, and man, has Buckeye Twitter lost their mind for one Bo Jackson. 9 carries, 108 yards, should have been 2 touchdowns, just 1 touchdown. James Peoples, 8 carries, 59 yards, 7.4 yards per carry, no touchdown. CJ Donaldson, 5 carries, 45 yards, 9 yards per carry, a touchdown. Isaiah West, 8 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Sam Dixon also added a touchdown. Q, the sentiment on Twitter is that Bo Jackson is RB1 on this team. Our guy Juck has been beating the drum for Bo Jackson since before he even stepped foot on campus, telling us that he was going to be a guy. You heard all the reports coming out of spring and fall. Every practice, Bo Jackson was breaking a long run. Seems to be the most dynamic back in the room. He gets on the field and confirms what everyone believes about him. He shows the explosion. He shows the strength. He shows the speed, and he shows that he's ready to play. Were you surprised in any way that Bo Jackson goes out there and leads his team and gets his first run 100-yard rushing game against Grambling State in his first game as a Buckeye?
No, I mean, I'm not surprised. Obviously, we're playing against Grambling State, and I feel like the offensive line is going to open up holes for him, but we confirmed everything that we talked about, and we talked about it on Friday. I mean, Bo Jackson, he's the elite recruit right now in the Ohio State running back room. I mean, he was a top, 50 guy, and we haven't had a top 50 guy, I think, come in the room since, Travion Henderson? So
what do you mean really, top 50 guy?
Top 50 overall recruit in the country.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you could double check that. I know James Peoples was around 100 or just over 100. So I think he might be the first since then. Don't quote me on that, but Ron will check it. But yeah,
he was 213 in the country.
Bo Jackson?
Yes.
What? I swore when I looked at it, he was all right, whatever. I need to go do some research. I swore he was top 50.
That's why I was skeptical of your last stat. Too. It's late.
No, my last stat's right. I know that stat. Hey, you cover that. That's right. I'll put my house on it. I don't own a house, but I'll put it on there. I'll put
his
Ron's
composite,
house.
He was 161 at 247. He was 213.
Bro, I swear he had the fall. We got Phil Jasper's time. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, we've talked about how dynamic he was. We knew when he would get the ball, and obviously playing against Grambling State, starters or backups. I mean, he was going to get an opportunity to shine. So clearly, he's the explosive back in the room. We talked about needing a home run hitter, and we definitely did. So, I mean, him and I thought James Peoples looked pretty good. So, I mean, in that top 3, I just think carries need to be distributed around, but I think Bo Jackson is the most talented guy in that room. And if you start giving him carries and work his way up, because when we play against these better defenses, we need a guy to pop something. In Texas, it was a little bit of a struggle. So you got to have a home run hitter in the room, and Bo Jackson looks like he could be that guy.
James Peoples appeared in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games last year and did not record a single 100-yard rushing game. He has not yet done it in his career. Bo Jackson does it in his debut. Hugh, do you see Bo Jackson being named RB1? Not, I doubt they'll officially name it, but do you see him taking over the RB1 role before the end of the season?
I don't know. That's a good one. I'm like 50-50 on that. I mean, next week is obviously another big game. If he can repeat that performance, he's got a much better chance. I just don't. I think my worry, I think Lachlan's probably worried. It's just Bo Jackson holding on to the ball and not making those mistakes. I think he's saying, look, we got wide receivers on the outside. We know we're going to score points. We just can't be giving the defense free turnovers and obviously end up in some level of trap game, because now that we're the number 1 team, pretty much every game's a trap game now. If we go out and play as the way we should roll the schedule into the playoffs. So I think that's Lachlan's worry a little bit. He's like, I know Donaldson's going to carry it. He's going to run hard. I know he's going to hold on to the ball. Peoples and Bo Jackson, they're a little bit more explosive, in my opinion. So you may get more home run hitters, but it depends on where his trust is. If Bo Jackson continue to earn that trust, definitely in the next couple of games, not fumble the ball, run the ball hard. I mean, he has a chance. I mean, I'd say it's with his talent level, and running backs don't have to do as much as some other positions. 40% chance he could be running back 1 at the end of the year, I will put it. I wouldn't go any higher than that right now, unless he just goes out and goes crazy against somebody. That's a real.
We talked about Julian Sayin being a potential Heisman winner this season with the talent that we believe that he possesses. I think one of the reasons why we might not see Bo Jackson get that opportunity to start as early as some people may want because of the pass protection and how much they value keeping Julian Sayin clean. And I don't think they want Julian Sayin getting his head taken off because we have a true freshman running back out there that doesn't completely understand pass pro. But I think given the explosion that we saw from Bo Jackson and the element that he adds to this offense, we've talked about it relentlessly about how many times Travion Henderson bailed this team out with massive plays throughout his career, whether they're long screen passes or long runs. Having that big play explosion from your running back is a crucial part of the offense and Ohio State's success that we saw last year. And I don't think, at least what we've seen thus far, CJ Donaldson or James Peoples possess that in the way that Bo Jackson does. So I think it's going to be crucial for them to find a way to get him up to speed in the pass protection game to make sure that he's a guy that when the Buckeyes need to win, whether it's against Penn State, whether that's against a team up north or in the playoffs, Bo Jackson's ready to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, the schedule set up well for that. I mean, we got to go to Washington. That's a game right now you look at it and say, okay, that could get a little dicey. Washington's played well so far. So you look at that game, you're like, that might be a test. But other than that, I mean, all roads lead to, we got a good 5-6 game bunch here to get guys better and get guys ready to go. Because again, Penn State is probably going to be that first true real test where you're like, all right, shit's real now. Your running backs got to be ready to go. They can't be fumbling. They got to be good in pass protection, like you said. So that'll be the time. So until then, is getting guys ready and go. And like I said, Bo Jackson will have his opportunities. I don't think Lockland is going to hold him back and say, we'll just hide you like we've held guys years before. So I think he's going to get the opportunities to get out there and play, and we will see. Like I said, I'm going to stick with my 40% chance, but do more what we saw on Saturday, and the crowd's going to be, hey, get Bo in.
Bo knows. It's going to be fun to see the merch that comes out. I mean, having a guy like Bo Jackson, Julian Sayin for 2 more years, multiple years of Bo Jackson, what we saw to Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford, Aaron Scott, Bryce West, Devin Sanchez. The future is bright in Columbus. Q, you should probably go grab your shades.
I got it right here. There we go.
That's how you had to watch the game.
Need to black out my shades for the Ravens games that I should have done.
You need to Ray Charles for that.
Yeah, I had to see. I don't know. Don't tell me. I didn't see anything. I got to watch the game later. But yeah, no, I mean, this running back room I will say this. Guys 1 through 5 looked really good on Saturday. I mean, Isaiah West was a guy we haven't talked about a lot, but Ryan Day said later in the season he's going to get carries. I mean, he looked good. I mean, Sam Williams-Dixon, we haven't seen him much, especially last season, but when he did touch the ball, and he's a guy who we talked about, like, he's a really good athlete. I don't know if he's a great running back just yet, but he is a really good athlete. So another guy you can rely on later if you need maybe a burst, So we'll see how it shakes out, but I'm glad we got a couple games to get these guys carries, and we'll see. But Bo Jackson right now is the guy everybody's talking about.
Yeah, we had expectations coming into this game. I think my biggest thing was get out of the game healthy and get the offense clicking as far as getting to see what Julian Sayin actually looks like. He goes out there and is so impressive that we're already having Heisman conversations, probably prematurely, but what else are we going to talk about? We just beat Grambling 7-0.
Going to Remington.
We got to see all of the young guys. I believe 37 players played on offense, 37 played on defense. I had a tweet that went decently viral on Saturday when they said, I think Chris tweeted out that Julian Sayin was really distributing the ball and getting everyone a touch. And I quote tweeted and I said, at this pace, I'm going to catch one on my couch, because it felt like he was on the Oprah program. You get a catch, you get a catch, you get a catch. Everybody out there seemed to be getting involved in the offense, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. We saw young guys play. We saw Bo Jackson go off. We saw all 3 quarterbacks play. It was, again, it's been a fun season so far to be a Buckeye, and I feel like we're still just riding high off the national championship. We beat the number 1 team week 1. We go out and play Grambling State week 2 and win 70-0. We see the freshmen. We see everybody that we want to see play, and we leave the game healthy, most importantly. All around great weekend for football, especially if your teams are Ohio State and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't say the same if you root for some certain other AFC North teams. Shout out to the Bengals. They got a win. Shout out to the Steelers fans out there. We got our dub. Pray for the Browns. Everybody hates the Ravens, so Q, you're on your own over there. It's just crazy that we do a show together as co-hosts when we have one team that unifies us and all of our other teams are hated, bitter rivals.
Oh yeah, dude won't even play us no more. They're scared of the smoke.
We won't play you guys.
Coach K, I'm not playing them no more. They might beat us.
You guys ran to the Big Ten.
Direct
it's a conversation for another day.
We're not playing them no more. They're too good. Direct quote.
Oh, man, Q, it was a great weekend of football, at least for me. Let the people know where they can find you in morning.
Well, if you want to find me, I am City Boy Quitting on Twitter, Flying Johnson on Instagram. I'm here Monday through Friday for the Buckeye Roast. Can't wait to get more shows in. And obviously, we got film study coming up. We got a couple other things coming up. We're going to break down really this week because it's a big week of college football we had, and we've had a great 2 weeks, and there's a lot of stuff happening nationally. So we'll talk about it. Make sure you like the video, hit that sub button. If you know somebody else who's looking for Buckeye content in the morning to help them wake up, pass those hours at work, send them right here to the Buckeye Roast on Dead Air Sports. Ron, where can they find you at?
Yeah, you can find me right here on Dead Air Sports Monday through Friday, talking all things Buckeyes with my guy Q. For the Buckeye Roast, you can catch us post games in the Bleacher Report app. If you like the content that we're doing over here at Dead Air Sports, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. It's not just the Buckeye Roast over here. Chris has been putting out a ton of content. He's been doing sports deep dives on the channel. He's been doing I-71, his podcast with our guy Tyler, talking all things Ohio sports. An episode of I-71 drops today at 10 a.m., an hour after this show wraps up. So make sure you tune in for that if you want more content. There's going to be tons of content on this channel all year. We just hit monetization, so we're going to have super chats back. We're going to have, if you want to send a super chat, we can pull those up in our super chat history and read those the next day, just like we did with the comments in the past. So feel free to keep sending the super chats. We are going to have new member benefits that we're going to be announcing in the next day or so. So be on the lookout from that. You're going to be getting some exclusive Chris Drew content coming up for members only. So make sure that you are subscribed over here at Dead Air Sports because we have all kinds of cool things going on. And of course, we're covering the best team in the land. The Buckeyes are 2-0 now, number 1 team in the country. The number of the day is 1 in the wrong column for Q's NFL team, but the right place for the Buckeyes rankings. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. Make sure that you're subscribed. If you're watching on X, make sure you repost the video. It helps us a ton. Come find us over here on YouTube. That helps us even more. We appreciate everybody tuning in here for the Buckeye Roast. You know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can, you fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting a team prepared, ready to go, so we start practice. Our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today, they report, or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 37, not 44, 1. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. To know your assignments. To have 11 guys play hard on every snap. That's hard. That's why there's 1. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. Where there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever you're a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it?